it's very easy in Sumner County, Tennessee, because you don't have to pull permits. You really don't. No, the only thing you really have to do is make sure your locations are good. Like if you're talking with business owners or whomever, but to be out in the streets to whatever, you do not have to pull a permit. I double checked it with the state film commission. So step one in crafting a low budget movie with literally pennies is if I can talk to your state film commission, find out where you don't have to get any where you don't have to pay for anything. Right. Yeah. And what we found during that time is the folks that we worked with were very easy, even local law enforcement. This was the greatest thing. We're doing a shot, and it is the essential shot in the trailer. It's what we end with. We have the game warden driving up, and he sees the deer in the middle of the road, and we get that very literal deer and headlights moment. We got stopped. There were a couple of phone calls because we were in a street, and an officer comes over, and he goes, "Well, did you get what you needed to get?" And I said, "Well, we've got a couple other things to get." And he was like, "Well, what are they?" So, "Well, we've got to be in close on the driver. We have to get his reaction. We have to light for that." He pulls me over to his car, and he says, "Well, do you have to do it in the middle of the street?" "No, sir, we don't." He goes, "I'm going to tell you, you go over here. I'll know where you are. You'll know where you are. You go there, get the rest of your stuff, and you kids have a good night. And let us go on about our business."
That's how I would be. I mean, but you were shooting in the middle of the street because it's more authentic? Is that why you were doing it? Because I'm very against shooting in the middle of the street. Like my dad actually got run over by a car. He's fine, but he's like a big guy, and he's like Mr. Safety along came Polly. But for some reason, when we go walking, I guess he thinks because he's like so physically big and tough that like he can just he's bigger than a car. So he was walking on a street. He's like, "Oh, I got hit here," and it's like he walks in the middle of the street like he owns the streets. Are you like my dad? You guys are just like, "Oh, we could just be in the middle of the street. No one's gonna touch us." Like, what was that? Who made that decision?
Well, that was my call.
Okay. You're like my dad.
It was in my hometown. And this is the thing. So we found a back road was what it was. There's little or no traffic. Speed limit through there is 30. We had a van on either end of the street. Yep. With people there, flashers on. If they saw cars coming, we were able
so that's why the cops came. They saw all this.
The neighbors saw all that.
Oh, the neighbors. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And they called the cops on us.
That makes sense.
And that was fine. But then they sent us over to like a little parking lot. And what we were able to do is find a position wherein at least for the couple of closes that we needed, we were able to get. So no big deal. And then when we came back to do the feature, the first place I went to was the police station outside of City Hall. I went to City Hall and I said, "Hey, the film commission says I don't need permits. I'm going to be out in the streets." And they said, "Talk to the cops." They said, "Okay." I went and talked to the police, and I said, "Here's where we're going to be over the course of the next 3 weeks. I'll send you guys a couple of emails. These are the streets we're going to be on. This is what we're going to be doing in case anybody calls." Tip 2, work with people, talk to people, tell them what you're doing. 9 times out of 10, maybe not so much like in New York or Long Island, or wherever, it maybe not so much, but in a small town, people are still excited. They're still excited about somebody here is doing something that's not just a 9 to 5. That's not like baling hay or whatever. Okay, cool.
So this is where you want to be friends with the cops, but kind of being facetious and obnoxious, but I'm kind of being serious. There's all these cops retiring. I forget how many thousands, I think, left New York City. I mean, pretty soon at this rate, you're not going to have to ask any cop for permission because they won't exist.
I mean, they're not going to be there. But
I mean, I might be skipping an event at Javits Center tomorrow just because the crime is, I've had such crazy situations happen in the city, but let's go back